HR Basics is a series of short courses designed to highlight what you need to know about a particular human resource management topic. In today's HR Basics, we explore organizational health, describing the 4 steps organizations take to improve their overall health. Organizational health is defined as an organization's ability to function effectively. Organizational health is about making a company function effectively by building a cohesive leadership team, establishing real clarity among those leaders, communicating that clarity to everyone within the organization, and putting in place just enough structure to reinforce the clarity going forward. The advantage of organizational health is undeniable and massive. Companies get more done in less time. They avoid losing their best people. They identify problems earlier and solve them faster. And they beat rivals who waste time, money, and energy fighting among themselves, which ultimately drives away good employees and customers. Organizations today are smart. Virtually every organization of any size has access to the best thinking and practices around strategy, technology, and other topics. In short, being smart is easy for organizations. However, there's one remaining untapped competitive advantage out there, and it's more important than all of the others that we talk about in terms of organizations. It's simple, reliable, and virtually free. We're talking about organizational health. A healthy organization is one that has all but eliminated politics and confusion from its environment. As a result, productivity and morale soar, and good people almost never leave. To understand organizational health, we need to understand politics. Politics is when people choose their words and actions based on how they want others to react rather than based on what they really think. Why? Because the smartest organizations in the world will eventually fail if it's unhealthy, and politics lead to unhealthy organizations. A healthy organization will always find a way to succeed because without politics and confusion, it will inevitably become smarter and tap into every bit of intelligence and talent that it has. What exactly does an organization have to do to get healthy? There are 4 simple but difficult steps. They are: Step 1, build a cohesive leadership team. Step 2, create clarity. Step 3, communicate clarity. And finally, Step 4, reinforce clarity. Let's take a look. Step 1, build a cohesive leadership team. Cohesive teams build trust, eliminate politics, and increase efficiency. The first step is all about getting leaders of the organization to behave in a functional, cohesive way. If the people responsible for running an organization are behaving in dysfunctional ways, then that dysfunction will cascade into the rest of the organization and prevent organizational health. And yes, there are concrete steps a leadership team can take to prevent this. Members of the leadership team can gain a general sense of their organization's health, and more important, identify specific opportunities for improvement by completing the following checklist. The leadership team is small enough, 3 to 10 people, to be effective. Members of the team trust one another and can be generally vulnerable with each other. Team members regularly engage in productive, unfiltered conflict around important issues. The team leaves meetings with clear-cut, active, and specific agreements around decisions. Team members hold one another accountable to commitments and behaviors. Members of the leadership team are focused on team number 1. They put collective priorities and needs of the larger organization ahead of their own departments. Step number 2, create clarity. Healthy organizations minimize the potential for confusion by clarifying. The second step for building a healthy organization is ensuring that the members of the leadership team are intellectually aligned around 6 simple but critical questions. Leaders need to be clear on topics as to why the organization exists and what its most important priority for the next several months might be. Leaders must eliminate any gaps that may exist between them so that people 1, 2, or 3 levels below them have complete clarity about what they should do to make the organization successful. Creating alignment at the executive level is essential to building and maintaining a healthy organization. There's probably no greater frustration for employees than having to navigate the politics and confusion caused by leaders who are misaligned. Even if the slightest bit of daylight exists between executive team members, can cause an overwhelming effect on employees. There are 6 simple but critical questions that need to be answered, eliminating all discrepancies among team members. The 6 critical questions include: why do we exist? The answer to this question will yield a core purpose or fundamental reason the company is in business. Number 2, how do we behave? This question examines behaviors and values required for success. 3, what do we do? The answer provides a simple, direct explanation of the business. 4, how will we succeed? This question requires team members to develop a strategy. 5, what is most important right now? The answer to this question is the establishment of a unifying thematic goal and action plan. And finally, 6, who must do what? This question addresses roles and responsibilities. Members of a leadership team can gain a general sense of their organization's health and, more importantly, identify specific opportunities for improvement by completing the following checklist. Members of the leadership team know, agree on, and are passionate about the reason the organization exists. The leadership team has clarified and embraced a small, specific set of behavioral values. Leaders are clear and aligned around strategy, which helps them define success and differentiate from themselves from their competitors. The leadership team has a clear, current goal around which they rally. They feel a collective sense of ownership for the goal. Members of the leadership team understand one another's roles and responsibilities. They are comfortable asking questions about one another's work. And the elements of the organization's clarity are concisely summarized and regularly reinforced and reviewed by the leadership team. Step number 3, overcommunicate clarity. Healthy organizations align their employees around organizational clarity by communicating key messages. Only after the first 2 steps are in process, behavioral and intellectual alignment, can an organization undertake the 3rd step, over-communicating the answers to the 6 questions. Leaders of a healthy organization constantly, and I mean constantly, repeat themselves and reinforce what's true and important. They always err on the side of saying too much rather than too little. This quality alone sets leaders of healthy organizations apart from others. Members of a leadership team gain a general sense of their organization's health and, more important, identify specific opportunities for improvement by completing the following checklist. The organization has a simple way to ensure that new hires are carefully selected based on a company's values. New people are brought into the organization by thoroughly teaching them about the 6 elements of clarity. Managers throughout the organization have a simple, consistent, and non-bureaucratic system for setting goals and reviewing progress with employees. That system is customized around the elements of clarity. Employees who don't fit the values are managed out of the organization. Poor performers who do fit the values are given the coaching and assistance they need to succeed. And compensation and reward systems are built around the values and goals of the organization. Step number 4 is reinforce clarity. Organizations sustain their health by ensuring consistency. Finally, in addition to over-communicating, leaders must ensure that the answers to the 6 critical questions are reinforced repeatedly using simple human systems. This means that any process that involves people, from hiring to firing to performance management and decision-making, is designed in a custom way to intentionally support and emphasize the uniqueness of the organization. Members of a leadership team can gain a general sense of their organization's health and, more important, identify specific opportunities for improvement by completing the following checklist. Tactical and strategic discussions are addressed in separate meetings. During tactical staff meetings, agendas are set only after the team has reviewed its progress against goals. Non-critical administrative topics are easily discarded. During topical meetings, enough time is allocated to major issues to allow for clarification, debate, and resolution. And the team meets quarterly away from the office to review what's happening in the industry, in the organization, and on the team. Can a healthy organization fail? Yes, but it almost never happens. Really. When politics, ambiguity, dysfunction, and confusion are reduced to a minimum, people are empowered to design products, serve customers, solve problems, and help one another in ways that unhealthy organizations can only dream about. Healthy organizations recover from setbacks, attract the best people, repel the others, and create opportunities they couldn't have expected. At the end of the day, and at the end of the quarter, employees are happier, the bottom line is stronger, and executives are at peace because they know they've fulfilled their most important responsibility of all, creating an environment for success.